I think I was 7 or 8 years old, and the local high school came to our elementary school, and it was West Side Story. And they did just a little, kind of like a one act. And I wanted to go and see it. So my mom took me, and after that, I looked at her and said, I never want to watch again. I always want to be on the stage. And since then, I've pretty much always been on the stage. PPI stands for Proscenium Players Incorporated, which means in front of the curtain. My name is Heidi Hampton. I am the PPI board president currently, and I also act and I direct for PPI.
I'm Jeff Bassa, and with PPI I am currently the secretary, and I do act, and I also am directing one of our one acts in this production. What inspires me to be involved with the productions PPI puts on, as well as participating with other community theater groups, is the fact that it's kind of its own reward. It's interesting to see something that's taken from just an idea or words on paper, organizing a bunch of folks and all the things that go along with it in the production, and seeing that come to life, and then having an audience laugh and enjoy it and clap and cheer and want to see it again. And then the actors who want to come back and do another show. So it's that to me is the reward, and that's what keeps me inspired. I really want to do it well.
Why I'm inspired, or what makes me inspired, is just to put on a really good show. And I like to see those laughs, and if it's a drama, I want to see people cry. I'm a firm believer that you need to really sit somebody in the chair and shake them up a little bit with what you're doing on the stage and leave them just like, did that really happen? And I just love to see that go in and out of the doors. It's a reward in itself, like you said.
Well, let's start with the top. The monologues start with a stage manager who's just a little bit snippy, and brings the audience to attention. We then move to a one act of two people that meet on a park bench, and deals with a cell phone, that are complete strangers and exchange a lot of information between them. There's then another monologue that's identified by Ophelia, who is talking about her boyfriend Hamlet. And that then is followed by the name of the show, which is Caught in the Act, about a number of individuals who are the actors or characters for a writer. And the writer's in the background, and the characters are carrying out the words that the writer is putting on paper. Brief intermission, another brief introduction by the stage hand of the stage manager. Another one act called GPS, an autoerotic fantasy, which might be a little bit different than you would expect, but it's all about a GPS system that is up to date and rather current. And then our closing one act is called, well, I want to call it Expert Advice, but its real name is The Real Problem, and it's a number of characters from Shakespeare that are brought together in a pub that talk about relationships between men and women. And Juliet is our innocent child who is being schooled by a number of other rather more serious Shakespearean actors, and the head of
Anne
Boleyn, who provide her a lot of information and expert advice. So it's all very funny. I thought it was pretty much hilarious. It took me a day or two to get past the laughs to be able to read it in its context in order to put the show together.
What intrigued me about this show and directing the one acts, they were no name, nobody famous, they weren't huge, they haven't been done before.
Here they have been done.
They haven't been done here that we were aware of.
We've selected some of this based on the fact It's a little more cutting edge, and I got to tell you, it's a strong PG-13. So bringing kids is not necessarily recommended. So we're trying to make it a little more contemporary, appealing to a much broader cross-section, and trying to shed some of that older images that PPI might have. We are in actually our 50th year, going on 51, but it doesn't mean we need to stay that way.